Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Mind Over Madness podcast. A day late, I'm aware. Sorry, that's family matters happened on my side. That's why we had to push it back a little. It's been recorded a day before. I literally came home to do this, have a night in my own bed, and then I'm going back to deal with family stuff. So, the podcast, it cannot wait. It's my only respite.
It must go on. The show must go on.
Indeed. So, as always, I'm joined by Sean. Thank you very much, my dude, for joining me.
Hello.
Hello. It's the first time we've talked for like a proper while as well because of what happened with me.
I've missed it a lot, and we will.
I know I've missed.
We'll get around to a lot more talking over the next week or so.
We will. Hopefully, yes. Hopefully.
But business first.
Well, business and play. So yeah, we've got a lot of news this week to talk about. A lot of stuff has happened, but we will get into that. We also, obviously, as always, will talk about gaming stuff, bit of films and books and whatever we've been doing, and then we'll go on to our random tings. But yeah, how's your week been, mate? How have you been?
It's literally been pretty much average as usual. Not much has happened. Heard some stuff from my family, like decisions that my sister has been making and stuff. But it's all like take it all with a grain of salt and just get on with it. But yeah, it's been a pretty boring one, to be honest. I mean, juxtaposed to your one.
Mine's been real damn entertaining.
Yeah, haven't been bored, that's for sure.
Oh, damn, hell no. So, I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit. Why not? That little bit of a diversion, just to let everyone know what's been happening, and to let you know specifically because I haven't really had a chance to speak to you. So,
don't worry.
What happened? I can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday. I'm fairly certain it was Tuesday. Tuesday morning, my cousin went over to check on my grandparents, as we do, because they need our help and stuff, and it was all COVID secure. We're always careful. But my nan basically was having a stroke, so he called 999. Did an absolute fantastic job. Went above and beyond. He did cracking. And what they found out, long story short, she went from Morriston in Wales to Bristol. She had a bleed in the brain. She had a clot then that had formed on her brain, so she had that sucked out through her femoral artery. It went successful. She was perfectly fine against all the odds. She came out, and within 24 hours she was speaking normally and moving around normally. I swear to fuck, my nan is the Terminator. That bitch will never die. But she's all right. She's fine. She's still in hospital in Morriston. She's just recovering. I think they're giving it a little bit of time, obviously, before they send her back. Like they're setting her up with like a care package and everything. So
that's an amazing turnaround. Like NHS, well done.
From 24 hours, like within 24 hours, she had the stroke, had the bleed in the brain. They took the clot out, and she had recovered.
Yeah, that's like amazing.
Like, what?
I mean, I know they're under a lot of strain these days, but it's what a feat to pull that off like so quickly. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Credit to our NHS. So, I mean, obviously, to anyone that was involved, I think for the first responders, for the doctors that have helped her and stuff, my family have sorted out like a bunch of like nice little packages for them. So, but yeah, incredible. If anyone shits on the NHS, you're fucking deluded, but like they're cracking. They did a fantastic fair play.
Yeah, they really have had a terrible year now, and still managing to just pull out the bag and provide the excellent care that they always have.
Insanity. So yeah, that was my week, but incredible. So I've been away caring for my granddad, and that's why I'm going back tomorrow and everything as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you'll soon be heading back back into that world, but you've got your podcast hat on today.
I have, and I'm going to be seeing Vic later, and then I'll probably stay up a bit later to play some games with you as well and hang out with people.
Oh, I'm honoured.
But yes, on to sort of weird pastures. I was going to say better pastures, but let's be honest. The news is we have so much to talk about in news today, so where to begin? Well,
I guess we can start with the vaccines.
Yeah, let's start with something positive.
Something kind of positive. So, I mean, the one thing that they don't seem to be fucking up so far, the government is rolling out the vaccines. So, roughly about 4 million people have been done so far.
Yeah.
They've obviously set a target for the 15th of February to get the first 4 groups of high risk people
Yeah.
done. So, and they are actually on track for that one, if not
But
might go beyond that.
they did have to cancel the booster shots, didn't they? To be able
Yeah,
to do it, which is fine in hindsight, but they need to get them rolled out quick as well. So
they do. I think that was like a scientific decision. Like it's a bit of a
yeah,
risk, but apparently it's all looking okay so far. But it's
yeah.
not. We don't know for sure.
It's a bit of immunity is better than none. That
Yeah,
is true. I do stand by that. I'm not going to shit on them for this. I know I like to do that, but
yeah. I mean, they have made a lot of good decisions with regard to the vaccine. They like ordered the batches early. They went with an Oxford one, and they discounted some like bad vaccines, like the Sputnik one and stuff like
yeah,
that. With ones which weren't very effective. So they have made a few good decisions regarding to this. And
admittedly, yeah.
we'll be the first to shit on them when they mess it up. But
Oh
we're also
fuck, I.
great ignorant.
I'll shit on the government whenever I get a chance.
Yeah, but we will give credit where credit's due
Yeah.
for now.
Definitely, definitely.
So yeah, obviously that 12-week gap between them now. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know what the figure's going to be like in 12 weeks' time when everyone's going back for their booster shots and like not many new people are getting vaccinated. Then it'll start slowing down. I think when it gets to like my mum's turn and
Yeah.
like our parents' turn and whatever. So yeah, my granddad has had it his, which is good news, and then I think your
Yeah, my
grandparents.
granddad had it when I was there. Came back, he was like, "Have I?" I was like, "Yeah, you just had your vaccine." Yeah.
You're free. Go and live
Yeah.
your life now. No.
Still be careful. Takes 8 days.
Yeah,
Takes 8 to
yeah,
14
yeah.
days to kick in, but it is there.
It's about the stage where everyone knows someone who's had the vaccine now, pretty much. So
Which is good.
it's not all lies and conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a good thing that this is because obviously England also went back into a lockdown late again. Boris, you're a fucking idiot, but you're in a lockdown. It is what it is. But I think this time I do have hopes that it'll be different. I think with the vaccine, it'll definitely help to the coming out of the lockdown stage. I think it'll be less risky. Let's just hope that. Obviously, the thing that was voted through the House, obviously the lockdown is stated to stay until March, the end of March. But obviously Boris has been spouting bullshit that it's going to end in the middle of February. What's kind of your thoughts on that?
I think people got like misconstrued of the fact that they set this target for the 15th of Feb for like the high risk groups to get this vaccine. So like, everyone thinks, oh well, if the high risk people are done, then we can all just go out and about and do whatever we want.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case because it's most people in ICU these days are in their like 50s and 60s and even younger than that. And a lot of the ones over 80 are not getting to ICU because they're dying before they get there. So, I mean, it's still quite worrying. I'd prefer that they like more groups to be vaccinated fully than before we start to ease restrictions. Like a lot of the scientists are saying it's the worst time possible to ease restrictions. Like that we're literally the finish line is in sight, but don't back it up now.
It's the thing is, I think the problem is that, and I don't blame people for thinking this way or being like this at all. I think the government has misled a lot of people, but I think this vaccine, it's kind of like Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, I'm comparing the vaccine to that. It's the hype behind this thing to be the savior of lockdowns, the thing that's going to stop it all. It's mental. I think it's definitely going to help. That's for sure. It's definitely going to allow us to go back to some form of normality. But COVID-19 is not going anywhere. No. The fact that people think that this is going to get rid of it, it's not. It's going to be a thing that we'll have to continuously get vaccinated for. Otherwise, it will spread again. And that's not to count the fact that the sheer amount of times this thing just mutates and a new strand is found. Like, haven't they found another new strand or something that was
yeah, it's like Brazilian.
Jesus
the Brazilian.
It's fucking like 20,000 fucking different versions of this thing now.
Well, also as a side note, I think like the one thing that annoyed me is like everyone kind of goes up in arms when people call it the China virus. But we've got the UK strain, which everyone refers to as that. We've got the Brazilian one, the South African one.
Yeah.
And everyone doesn't mind calling it that, but we're not allowed to call it a China virus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This started in China. Okay,
I know.
that you cannot like anyone that does, you're a fucking idiot. It started in China, whether it was made or just naturally came from bats. Can't dispute the fact it started there. It then spread, and different strains happened. I think people that are getting so butthurt about it being called the China virus.
Maybe Trump was right on that.
Then please get hurt on the South African strain, the UK strain. Like, don't be a fucking hypocrite. If you're going to be angry at one thing, be angry at the others. It makes no sense.
We've got freedom of complete freedom of travel, at least in this country, until very recent.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they? They put a travel ban on, but it didn't start straight away. No. They gave people a week.
It's not even a travel ban. It's just you need to provide proof that you've had a negative test, which you can download off the internet and show them on your phone.
What's this bullshit? They've switched it to a 10-day quarantine. What? Has the virus become less contagious after day 10 or something? The fuck?
Apparently.
Should be 14
it's only 5 days if you get a negative test.
That's okay then. Yeah, just stick them in a building where they could catch it.
Yeah. Take one of those rapid tests, which is only 60% accurate.
This government is a fucking disgrace.
Before last week, how many people did they actually check up on who came into this country? It's a big fat zero.
Yeah, zero. There's been no real... I mean, we did have travel bans at one point, but it wasn't for very long, and that's because they keep insisting that the economy needs to get better, and it's like, yes, it does, but not before you spread it around more, you bastards.
They say we want to prevent these new variants coming to our country, but if they've been discovered, they're already here, let's face it.
Yeah.
By the time they're discovered, they're already 3 weeks behind the curve, so...
Yeah. It's frustrating. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. I
feel like annoying. It's not going to make much difference whether they shut the airports or do anything like that. Now, if they should have done it last March, it wouldn't make very marginal difference now.
Yeah. It's frustrating. I think more than anything. I was a valid fucking... I mean, it's obvious if you watch the other podcast. I really wanted them to do another lockdown. I'm glad it happened, but I do think that the way the government is still handling it is just piss poor. They're still leaving massive loopholes. They're still leaving little fucking thing like this stupid fucking... my granddad lives in Port Albert, and he lives right next to the seaside. I could not fucking tell you the sheer hundreds, if not thousands of people I saw on the beach every fucking day.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck? Just impose it. He came on telly and went, you must stay at home. Yet I see people out everywhere.
Yeah.
I know I'm in Wales, right? So I get it's different. But in Wales, we're at that tier that's lockdown, apparently. I don't fucking feel like it.
I know, it just doesn't feel like it here either.
People just don't give a shit anymore, man. They're just like, oh, I'm done with this. You keep fucking saying one thing, then another. And this is the problem with the government.
The police can't do right for doing wrong these days either. So.
Yeah. Well, it was ironic. There was an elderly police lady, and I can't remember the quote or anything. I didn't write it down. It was during the week. But she commented on the fact that people were breaking the rules and how they would stamp on it. Ironically, they were showing a clip of her and 2 other police officers walking side by side, no social distancing, no fucking masks, and going, we'll arrest anyone that's breaking the rules. Bitch, you were breaking the rules. How the fuck can you go on TV, promote that video, and be like, yeah, we'll arrest you, but not us?
Mm-hmm. I know, it's mind-blowing, but it's like, how do they even enforce it? Because there's an excuse left, right, and centre for anything that they see people doing, and if they accuse someone of doing something, they're going to go to the magazines and the TV and media and say, oh, I didn't give my details and I got arrested, which is, okay.
Yeah.
But, we can't go for a walk now.
I think it's just impossible, isn't it?
And there's a lot of videos going around of people riling up the police and trying to get a video of them reacting and then only showing the end part of it and stuff. Trying to get a skewed little bit of evidence towards them, look how horrible the police are. It's like, oh, come on.
I think the thing is, people are being too harsh on the police. I think at the end of the day, they're not the ones that are making these rules. Okay, they're just given them and told enforce them. And
they're
to be
confusing
fair,
to them as they are to us.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can't do this, but you can do this, but that's just the same as that. Well, yeah.
Can we go 5 miles or 7 miles?
But you two sisters who live in the same house. Well, have you heard about this? 2 sisters that were walking They walked 5 miles basically away from their home. They walked back. For anyone that isn't aware, that was apparently breaking the rules. Okay, fair enough. So we know 5 miles is too far. Boris Johnson went for a bike ride that was 7 miles away from where he was, and was apparently that wasn't rule breaking. Fuck
Yeah.
off. It is the same thing as Dominic Cummings. Oh no, he was just being a good father, and that was nearly a year ago, and the government is still doing the same shit. It is one rule for the people and another rule for these posh twats that think they can do whatever the fuck they want. And I think that's what people are just done with it. Like, and you know what? I never thought I'd say this. And I'm not advocating you break rules if they're laws. But fuck the rules. If the government aren't going to follow them and aren't going to get in trouble for it, why the fuck should I? Fuck your rules. You know, like, that's my thought on it at this point. Like, I've tried my best to be nice about the rules. Be sensible, you know, but you can't. It's indefensible at this point, I think.
Absolutely. There's just like, we're just so sick of hearing about the people breaking them and like one rule for them, one rule for everyone else.
Yeah.
It's just
unfair and broken.
Insanity. So yeah, I think there's back to the vaccine thing. I think there's like I think there's a Moderna vaccine coming out soon. Like we've approved 3 so far, and there's more on the way. It's like a Johnson vaccine apparently is which is only one chap. But yeah, so we've got plenty more vaccines. We're opening hundreds of vaccine mass centres and stuff like that.
Isn't there like one massive centre being built currently that's like apparently that'll be the thing that really kicks it into overdrive? I don't know where it's been built. I caught it in the news like I think it was this morning. I saw like pictures of it being built. I don't know where
there's like some football stadiums and somewhere down south. Mega centres. Let's hope they have good social distancing measures there, but apparently they're all right. So
and hopefully, like, it's another thing as well. Don't just. I hope the government do this. Don't just fucking take them down secretly, you know, without telling anyone. Like, you know, Boris was stating, all these little centres that have opened up, they're going to stay. They're going to boost the NHS. Secretly took them all down. Without telling anyone. Ooh, naughty Boris. Naughty. No. So, yeah, it's... Hopefully, some of these places at least will stay open and be a booster to the NHS. Because, to be fair, I think they're fucking earned it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not going to pay them more, Boris, because you want to, you know, boost up some cunt's pay rise to, you know, by 40 grand, you can at least leave a couple of these centres open and take a pay cut of your own. Since 150 grand a month is not enough for you, you arrogant prick.
Yeah. Most MPs are like on 150 grand. It's just like
fucking ridiculous.
Take a 50% pay cut.
Fucking why? If you were in it for the money, right? Message to all like MPs, governors. If you're in it for the money, fuck off. You don't deserve to be working there. I'm going there. Like, if you were in government, you shouldn't be in there for the money. You should be in there to help people. Simple as. Why fucking be in it if you... I don't know. I could go on about that for hours. I'm not going to. But yeah, let's just hope, you know, because they haven't fucking lied to us over and over. Let's just hope that this all goes to a happy place. I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross. I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
So let's hope. Let us hope.
Yes. Have you got any more newsy things?
Let's head over to America.
Oh, yes.
A lot's happened. So, history was broken on the 7th of January, I believe it was. The Capitol building was stormed by a bunch of bellends who look and support a giant tangerine. So, what do we think?
Yes.
History was made by a bunch of penises.
It was a dark day for America. The Capitol was stormed.
By people, by the people.
Yeah. I think they've made documentaries in America about it, like Siege on the Capitol, like it's so like Hollywood.
Yeah, it's all done magically through the power of normality.
But Trump definitely incited that kind of violence and
abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, read between the lines of his speech and just you'll figure out that he's trying to cause a bit of chaos before he leaves.
He's been impeached for it now, but we'll get to that. But what I wanted to focus on was this: how fucking, and yes, I'm using that word, do his supporters have to be? In his speech, he was like, "And I'll be there with you. I'll be walking with you." Do you know where he was? Putting his fucking feet up, watching it on TV, you bellends. He got you to go against your own democracy because he's that sort of a loser. I hope this bellend goes to prison and gets his arse so heavily destroyed that he dies from... no, I don't hope he dies. But, I hope he has his comments. I know they've impeached him now.
They were even, like, threatening the life of Mike Pence and stuff, because he went...
Yeah, they were like, hang Mike Pence. What the fuck? There was a lynch mob outside, and he's like, well, I didn't ask them to do that, even though you tweeted that Mike Pence was a coward and that he had failed.
What? I don't like him so much after this.
For being a democratic, following the democratic process.
Yeah.
Democracy. Except unless you're Trump, in which case, sore losery.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
So the whole... transition will take place next week. Well, next Wednesday, I believe.
3 days. 3 days from the day of this filming. Thank fuck, someone more capable will be in charge.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
definitely.
this impeachment will go far enough, because obviously it's been passed. He, by the way, another historic thing that Trump has managed to do, he's the only president in history to get impeached twice. So...
Yeah. And another first is that he's not intending the inauguration of the other one.
Oh, I think everyone's happy about that. No one wants. I think Biden said himself, didn't he? He was like, "Good."
Yeah,
I
he
don't want him there.
Either.
I don't fucking want him there. Although, isn't it mad that there are more armed forces now in Washington than there are in Afghanistan and Iraq put together?
Yeah.
Because so many people have threatened to do something stupid.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's literally like watching a TV show. Like, I never used to be in the news, but now something exciting happens every week.
I know. It's just a soap opera, isn't it?
I know. I cannot understand for the life of me how someone like that managed to get into power. I mean, I know it's the obvious thing of like, well, money or this or that. The fact that Mike Pence as well, like, I want your opinion on this, because Mike Pence obviously was pushed to enact the Article 25, specifically I believe it's the fourth part of the article, where basically it says that the president, it states something along the lines of the president is disabled and can't do his things. I think he is disabled. I won't say what I think he has, but there we are. I'm surprised that Mike Pence went, nope. And just outright said, no, I'm not doing it. And that's...
Yeah.
Especially, a mob was calling for you to be hung, sent by your supposed best friend, who you're VP for, and you're like, nah, fam.
No, I'm not surprised, because he completely has to have his allegiances, and he's been by his side like the whole 4 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, you say that, but Mitch McConnell, one of the most fucking well-known turtleneck bellends, who supported Trump since day one, even turned and said that this was unjust and that it was an impeachable offence. So this is why people are so confident that now the impeachment has gone through and will go to the Senate and stuff, and it will get voted on whether he'll be prosecuted or not, which he should. He should be held accountable to every cent of that law. And obviously it'll stop him from running for office in 2024. Thank God.
He's already lobbying for that, isn't he? Well, we'll get back in 2024.
No, you fucking won't. And if he does, that just proves how fucking stupid America really is.
Yeah.
Like, just don't even let him. Just get it through. Hopefully enough Republicans go, do you know what? Yeah, you've made us look really bad. And just vote for it. I know Mitch McConnell hasn't made a choice yet. As far as I know from what he has said to press and stuff, he's not actually made a dedicated choice, but he is considering it. Because he does believe that what Trump has done is an impeachable offence. And if he votes for it, 9 times out of 10, every other Republican will vote for it as well, because Mitch McConnell is like the head of that kind of side of it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he needs to be held accountable. This is something... Obviously, we talk about a lot, like specifically, kind of more serious subjects when it comes to the news on this podcast, and I like doing that. But this one, I don't even think I could try and make a joke of it because it's just too serious, It's something that's never happened for a president, a person who holds, by the way, the nuclear codes to, nuke the world, is acting like a baby and being like, hey, I'm going to send all you over there to kill people, because bear in mind 5 people died that day.
I think people, like 4 years ago, people were just sick of the kind of system and the traditional ways. Now they're begging for it back.
Yeah,
Because we don't want someone else like this.
Can I just say to those people who probably thought that, you're a fucking idiot. That's why these things are in place. Oh, well, it's so boring. Yeah, because the last fucking 4 years has been so fun. The greatest nation in the world. What a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Joe Biden might be able to make it somewhat great again, but nothing.
Salvage a bit of
Nothing
America's
will ever.
reputation.
This will be a stain on America forever, and hopefully they fucking learn from it and get better and don't go backwards. Let's hope. We can only hope.
Let's hope that this chapter in America is well and truly turning over now, and we'll get a Joe Biden presidency, a Biden-Harris.
Well, Biden's already put out there that he wants to put a 1.9 trillion care package in place for people that have been affected, which, by the way, fucking applauded. Absolutely, and he's already said that the first country he wants to come to is, surprisingly, the UK. He wants to meet Boris, he wants to have a chat with him, and he wants a working relationship. Boris, being the fucking ape that he is, though, he's like, right, if you had Trump and Boris, this is how I would describe it. America, with Trump, got the hardcore porn version. We got the softcore porn version. The wimp. Yeah. So, weird way to describe it, but there we are. But, yeah.
People pleaser.
Yeah, so I kind of hope that in 4 years, Keir Starmer, or at least I don't want to say the Labour Party has control of this country, because I don't fully agree with Labour, but at this point, Keir is a better option than Boris. And Conservatives. Yeah. Conservatives have proven themselves to be dickheads. So Labour are still dickheads, just the lesser of two evils at this point, in my mind, at least. No disrespect to anyone that wants to vote Conservative or anything, crack on, but I think to be honest, if you're voting in the next one, I think the choice is pretty clear.
Well, it's only a two-party race at the moment, really, at all times.
Although, if you want to vote for a third party, go and do it. The reason those third parties don't have big implications is because people go, well, it's pointless voting, isn't it? No.
But I mean, vote. The more people that say that, the more they're right. It's annoying.
Yeah. So don't always go and vote. Do your thing, do your part. But yeah, hopefully the Biden-Boris offices will work something good out, and we can have a healthy working relationship with America now that the big orange twat isn't in charge.
Yeah. I think that is a good place to put a full stop on that. Bloody one.
The news is a depressing bitch.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll hobble on that any longer. So let us move on to a happier subject of gaming. What have you been gaming on, my dude? What's been tickling your pickles?
I've been quite enjoying Days Gone. Quite enjoying Days Gone at the moment. I don't know how far I am for it, but I'm quite far. I was like, it's one of those ones that kind of starts off a bit slow, and I was like, I think I've tried to get into it a few times. Like, I know. But this time, especially with 60 frames, 4K enabled and stuff on the PS5, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. And oh my god, there's a little puppy in there. Puppy. It's just a great game. It's like basically Last of Us, but more chilled.
Yeah.
And I love that kind of open world, chilled biker vibe.
It is good.
I've also been playing a bit of Maneater. I haven't got too far into that. It seems a bit repetitive, I must say.
Yeah.
Kind of struggled a bit with the first alligator boss, and I was like, it's like the dream of playing as a shark is quite a fun one, and it is quite fun for a bit, but eating people, it kind of gets old.
It's kind of like junk food, isn't it? It's like one of those games you could play, but it's not one you'd focus on the story. It's more like, I'd have a video on in the background or a film or something while I'm doing this.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're the main ones I've been playing, but what about you? You've been playing many?
Well, I finished, since we last had our chat, I can't remember if I talked about it in the last one, but I managed to finish Metro last night. Enjoyed that.
Okay.
That was good. I'm looking forward to playing Exodus, but I'm taking a break from the Metro series for a little bit. I managed to finish the season 2 of Batman. I played that on my own time. Obviously, I was streaming that back when I was.
I heard that runs a lot better on the PS5 as well.
Sort of.
Or does it?
So
Yeah.
it doesn't run worse. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fourth and fifth episodes, it did pick back up. Not enough. That season, it's that classic tale of Telltale, really, isn't it? It's like they bought so many IPs that their stories started to fall apart and they weren't the same anymore. And I think there's no better thing for that other than Batman Season 2. First 3 episodes, you're not even fucking Batman, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's
They
multiple...
got a bit greasy when it came, like, they thought, oh, we can do The Walking Dead. Why can't we do Guardians of the Galaxy? Batman.
I mean, I would say they definitely got greedy. There was nothing wrong with having those IPs. It was just what they should have done is take their time, made them like took one IP on, and then gone right. Let's really focus on this, and then we'll get another IP later, you know. And yeah, it's just a shame, man, because the first season of Batman was excellent. The second season, there's just too many branching paths as well. It felt like some of the decisions that I would make were having impacts on me in episode 5, but they were decisions I didn't make.
Yeah.
There were things that I didn't do, and yet the game was penalising me for them. So I was like, no, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I think by the end, I think by the time I was like halfway through episode 5, I didn't give a fuck. I just basically just went with whatever just to get it done, which is a shame, man, because they were building up the Joker in it, and I don't know, they just fucked it up. Massive.
Yeah, I know the feeling of just trying to get through it, because it's like it's one of those ones where it's kind of easy game to do, and you get your trophies for it.
I wanted to see the ending. That was the main thing for me. I wanted to see if they could redeem it, and when I looked it up after I'd finished it, there's like I think there's 2 different Jokers and really fucking branching paths to get to them. Yet some of the decisions seem like they don't matter, but they did. I don't know. It was just very broken, very incoherent, and disappointing overall, I think.
Yeah.
Sadly, which was what it was like for most of the Telltale games in the end, I think. I hope another company does do what Telltale were doing, because I think it's a great idea, but I think they should have taken their time more. Definitely. What was your... Actually, out of curiosity, what was your favourite Telltale series that they did?
It was definitely The Walking Dead. Like, I think I played season 1 and 2. I'm not sure about the other ones, but yeah, I think the first 2 seasons of that were their prime, to be honest. How can you not love Clementine and stuff? And it was on the back of like The Last of Us, and people loved the kind of having the child and the adult relationship, and that all kind of how that plays out. Yeah,
the all-seeing child.
Yeah. People love a good emotional connection like that.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think of the other one.
Although
saying that, but that was your best.
Christ, that thing was awful. Although I would say that the 3rd season of the Walking Dead series that they did was garbage. Ironically, you know, the last series they actually did of the Walking Dead. Although that's just my opinion. First 2 seasons were excellent. 3rd season was a fucking drag, a new frontier. Like, why? Fucking why? I didn't give a shit. It was like mostly characters I didn't care about. I didn't play as Clementine for pretty much the entire thing.
Yeah.
So
that's when things were going downhill for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then obviously Starbreeze, fucking legends came in and nailed that last season. It was very good. I cried a lot. Oh.
Yeah, I think I've watched someone play it. I don't know if it was you, but I've watched some people play it.
I didn't play that one on stream. I think I actually played that on my own, so I was very excited for it. So
okay.
I
stream it.
Fucking bawled my eyes out, man. That fucking series broke me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
amazing how to get you.
It is. But yeah, I think Wolf Among Us as well.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to The Wolf Among Us 2, but I'm actually kind of glad that didn't happen, because I think Telltale would have fucked it.
Tales from the Borderlands as well is quite good.
Yeah, do you know what? I'd give that. That was a good one. It was enjoyable enough. I think the comedy in that saved it, you know.
It did feel like it was part of that universe.
Yeah, and the voice acting. Voice acting was superb in Tales from the Borderlands. Not to say it wasn't superb in Batman, but they did what they could with it.
Are there any games you're looking forward to getting like soonish? Like,
I don't know. I've got this weird fucking relationship with games. I want to get Back for Blood. That looks really good. Like the new Left 4 Dead, essentially. Left 4 Dead 3, essentially, because it's made by the same studio and everything. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably not going to get it until it goes on sale. Same with most games, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think games are just too expensive now, man. They just are. I mean, Christ, the top package for Back 4 Dead, so you get like the season pass and everything, that's £100. Like,
Yeah.
come the fuck on. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, so even the base games are still, 60, some of them are £70.
Yeah, I mean, the one I was looking at that came out at the PS5 launch was Sackboy. That looks like a really cool, cute little game, which is great for multiplayer and stuff.
Yeah, that does look good, actually.
But yeah, £60. I can't justify that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to me. I'm actually trying to get like the pre-orders and stuff up on my PS5 so I can actually look, because I can't remember what games are coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a shame, man. Because gaming is such a beautiful thing, and it keeps you busy for ages, and it's so much fun. But it's just becoming so expensive that I can see people being put off it. Like the console, Don't get me wrong, like I was surprised at the prices of like the consoles when they came out, the new next gen consoles. Like that was shocking. They were genuinely cheaper. But then I guess that's kind of making up for the fact that the games are going to basically, you can buy, I think it's something like if you buy 5 games now at full price, you're pretty much buying a new console.
Yeah, especially the digital one with they've got you by the balls there.
Yeah, just right on those games. Yeah, no, Returnal, that looks quite good, like a sci-fi kind of horror one.
Yeah.
And there's like a werewolf one in there. Yeah, Werewolf the Apocalypse. That kind of piqued my interest when I saw it.
Looking forward to, I think it's called Gotham Knights. That's like the DC's answer to the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that will do some things right where Avengers hasn't succeeded pretty much. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, Hogwarts Legacy, Project Aethera.
Well, that's going to be so good.
There's quite a few that I'm looking forward to, but I'm not getting my hopes up for them, mainly because of the big cyberpunk controversy that happened, and the fact that every fucking game that's announced these days tends to be a live service, and they're all shit.
When's Deathloop coming out? Because that was like advertised at the very first press conference of it.
Yeah. I'll just list off the final two, like Ghost. There's like a Ghost Tokyo one that looks really cool. Like a moon horror one that looks really good. Stray. Jesus Christ, they're fucking loads. I don't realise how many. Deathloop. Let me have a look here. Deathloop is coming out on the 21st of the 5th.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's a thing. That's
one of the last Bethesda. What was it?
Yeah, Bethesda games that are going to come out on the PlayStation.
Yeah. They're honouring that PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Although the next game they're making, the Indiana Jones one, that got announced, that will be coming exclusively to Xbox, as far as I can see and tell. I haven't heard anything other.
Yeah.
Which is a bit shit.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll just be a timed exclusive.
Some good news from the gaming industry. EA lost the rights to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh, they lost their exclusive rights to it.
Yeah.
You can still make a Star Wars games though.
Yeah. I mean, there is that, but at least they
because there's Jedi Fallen Order 2 probably in the works.
Yeah, anything to scrape that cash cow. But yeah, they fucked themselves. Now I think Ubisoft, Massive Entertainment, making a Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Why Massive? Out of all the companies Ubisoft owns, they went, yeah, Massive do a great job. They don't. They're fucking incompetent. I hate Massive.
Yeah, so from one bad company to another.
Yeah. Although maybe they'll fucking blow it away. I don't know.
Then again, we played the shit out of their game, so we can't really.
I mean, they don't make a bad game. They don't make a bad story. The gameplay, it's not bad, but they don't know how to make a game.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. But maybe, who knows? Yeah. Maybe they'll knock it out of the park. They're doing Avatar, and I know they've upgraded their Snowdrop engine. So now the Avatar game and the Star Wars game will run on that. No, I don't think we've heard anything of Division 3. And I got a funny feeling if they're doing a Star Wars open world and an Avatar one, both live service, let's face it, the Star Wars one will be, then I can't see them doing Div 3.
Yeah, or it'll just be at some point further in the future.
which will be
What
a
about
shame.
any news on Cyberpunk?
A lot has happened with that game, man. I mean, in all fairness, one of the co-founders did come out and do an apology video. It's completely, PR garbage.
Corporate.
I mean, to be fair, he can't exactly stand there and be like, yes, we lied. Because he would get all the lawsuits they're getting thrown at them, they would lose immediately. So obviously there are certain things that he can't say, but it is unacceptable. He said that the best way to play the game was on PC. Now, although that's true, it's still not a fucking acceptable way to play the game. The game is still massively broken. Just for transparency's sake, I've not played the game, I've not owned the game, I've not had the game on PlayStation, Xbox, or on PC. I've just seen gameplay and a bunch of glitches and a lot of Keanu Reeves memes, and I love them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a shame because that game had a lot of potential. And again, I don't blame the devs.
Still does, kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
if it wasn't released.
it's a shame that they've had to go back to a roadmap. But yeah, I think it's.
I'm looking forward to playing it as a next gen version, like in about 8 months' time when they've kind of fixed it.
Yeah. I think I will hold off getting that game until probably 2022. By that point, I would. I think that the shocking thing about it is I think a lot of these developers haven't obviously come out and like in public and stuff they'd never get a career again, but a lot of them have told like different sources, like I've watched a few videos on it and stuff, and from what I'm gathering they had no fucking idea. They thought it was a joke when it was announced to come out in December. They honestly thought it wasn't going to come out until 2023. That was what the developers who were working on the game said. The game shouldn't come out until 2023 if you want all these different like things. And it was also announced that the entire demo that was shown was fake completely, which anyone who thought otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Of course it was fake. That's pretty much every demo you see at E3.
Yeah, it's pretty the standard, isn't it?
Expect it to be fake. Anthem was fake. What a shock. Like just look at any of them. They're too high graphics to not be like fake. That's the problem. And I think the
original Watch Dogs demo, like years and years ago, that was like it looked so amazing. I mean, and to be fair, that game holds up like to today's standards with some of the
control-wise. I would say it doesn't hold up at all. It's garbage. But looks-wise, the game does look insanely good. Still to this day, I would say that. Absolutely.
But I mean, I suppose that standard has kind of carried on, where it just shows a super polished end product, apparently.
CGI.
And then it's nothing like it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's why I think this year was or last year I should say, was the first time I'd ever watched an E3 because I never saw the point. Any demos you see, they're all CG'd, they're all fake.
It's just to generate hype, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's actually what was omitted. I think by CDPR. I think they did actually admit that the entire thing was just for hype. It was to make the game look incredible, which of course you want to do. You want to generate hype. You want the game to be incredible. You want it to be amazing. But they should have released it. That was. I feel so sorry for that man. Like
no, you're awesome. Oh,
you're. What was it?
You're beautiful.
You're breathtaking.
Yeah, that's it.
It's. I feel because Keanu Reeves, man, he's such a good, talented actor. He's such a nice, genuinely nice human being as well. From everything we've seen, and. For him to be mixed up in something like this, especially the first time he's ever really paid attention and been in a game, like that can't be, like that's got to put such a shitty fucking taste in his mouth for like, if he ever gets approached again, hey, would you like to do this game? The last time I did a game, they lied to their audience, they faked everything, they manipulated people so they couldn't show their footage. No, I'm alright. So it's a damn shame, man. And I think this is the problem now. Like, people need to start holding like these companies accountable because this kind of shit is only going to get worse. I mean, Christ, you only have to look at like Ubisoft and now CDPR and every other gaming company. They're all fucking very well known for lying and manipulating, and it shouldn't be allowed. The only footage that they should be allowed to be shown at E3 is footage of the actual game, not shit that's fake and in development. Just show the game. If you show the game and go, look, it looks like garbage, it's running like ass, but you've got to understand it's going to take time for us to get to where we want to be. That's why we're not showing you anything. People would have more respect for you.
I guess like the problem is that the games that at that stage will never be. They'll never just make levels as they go on. It's like it's it won't look like a finished product until like a few months before the release, like a film would not look like a finished product until the very final stages.
Which is
So they
laughable.
need to like, yeah, they need to just like, I don't
It's
know.
the thing is, I think I understand, and I was talking to my cousin about this because he was like, well, what if you were in charge of the entire thing? What would you have done? And I said, well, I would have postponed the game like another 2 years and said, fuck you, you can wait. Well, what about all your investors? What if they pulled? Then they pulled out. They shouldn't be involved in the gaming industry if they don't understand this shit takes time. You want to make millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars and pounds? Fucking have some patience. If you release a broken game, you fuck all of the trust you have now made. So now CDPR has no trust and isn't going to regain that same level of respect and trust. They're just not. It's never going to happen. They'll gain some of it back probably, but not all of it.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think,
when they start releasing DLCs for free and the game starts working, it'll be, oh my god, they've made a massive turnaround.
oh my god, they did a No Man's Sky. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what does everyone remember from No Man's Sky? Oh yeah, wasn't that game that came out and it ran like ass and they lied? First thing that comes to your head when you think of No Man's Sky. Not, oh, it's such a fantastic game now. No, the first impressions.
They
count.
never truly recover from it. They
First-
get better,
yeah.
but they don't. Really...
Another great example: Star Wars Battlefront 2. The game is great now. It's a fun play. I enjoy playing on it. But no one remembers it for that. Ever remembers the loot box controversy and how EA tried to make a pay-to-win game. That's the problem. First impressions do count. And although a lot of people do, I think, forget about it and go, well, I can move on, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of others
Turn the
don't.
light on it.
Oh, it's getting dark. But yeah, I think thousands
Oh,
of...
God, that's worse.
Tens of thousands of people. Oh, it's fine. Tens of thousands of people, remember the truth, and that can fuck the
Hawaiian
business.
sunset.
It's beautiful. I love it. It looks like a Bob Ross painting. It's gorgeous.
Oh, no. With an ugly mug in the middle of it.
Oh, come on. But yeah. So
I
yeah.
lost my pen now.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any more game things we'd like to talk about, or shall we move on?
Only two. I played a bit more Valhalla. Really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Very good game. Unfortunately, it's attached to a company that sucks ass, but there we are. And I've started playing through Ratchet and Clank. First time I've ever played through a Ratchet and Clank game, and it's actually a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's good times. On to the next part.
Insomniac with his Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank.
I was surprised at that. I was like, oh, damn.
It's bound to be good, isn't it?
Yeah. On to the next one. So, films, TV, books, Netflix, and fun entertainment things.
Okay, so I've managed to think of, finally, one film that I watched and two series that I'm watching. Well, I've watched one of them. Start off with the most interesting one, I suppose. Night Stalker. It's a very kind of interesting serial killer, true crime documentary.
Isn't that the one with... oh, what's his name?
It's
Oh, shit. I can't remember his name.
come to think of it, I can't
I can
remember
think of the poster, like... Ryan Gosling?
It's he's supposed to be like a really good-looking fucking serial killer. Like all the fangirls are out.
Yeah.
But
I'd let him-
he did absolutely abhorrent things, including to children and stuff. So yeah, we won't even mention his name actually because they are. He's not worth it.
No publicity.
Because that's what I quite liked about the documentary. It focused more on the kind of sheriff's side and the police side. It only had like one episode or something dedicated to him. Because I mean, he would have absolutely loved the fact that he's part of a TV documentary.
I thought we were talking about a film.
Oh no, Nightcrawler is.
Nightcrawler's that's it.
Night Stalker is the documentary. I don't know if that actually linked in any, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting. I mean, it was quite interesting for a documentary to show so much of the crime scenes and things. Like I wasn't expecting it because you're so used to kind of seeing all this PG rated things. Like, oh, everything's fine. It's all just fairy tales. No, they're literally showing bodies, blood everywhere.
Nice.
Like, oh my god.
This is what it looks like to commit crimes.
Yes, that's very nice.
Evil bastards.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how much they actually showed of that kind of thing without any warnings on there.
Oh, fuck.
But I'm sure some people absolutely gore fanatics and love that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, there's a fictional TV drama I'm watching called Dark. It's on Netflix. It's like a German show. Where I watch it with subtitles because I think it's more authentic that way. It does have English dubs, but
Yeah.
um,
I've started doing that with like Korean shows and stuff.
yeah,
I never used to. I used to be too lazy.
yeah. I think it just adds something just to watch it in how it's supposed to be, I suppose. But yeah, I've heard it's described as a mixture between Stranger Things and Lost. And I can see what they mean by Stranger Things, but I'm yet to get to Lost.
I'm yet to
pretty
get that
confusing.
Lost vibe.
That probably has that in common. But yeah, it's got all sorts of time travel and children going missing and all them kind of
Fun.
dramatic elements.
Yeah.
But it's very good so far. I've only watched the first episode and a bit of the second one, but I'm enjoying it. As it's going to be one I binge at some point.
Fair dues.
I'll just head on to my last film that I watched, which is very interesting. It's called Spree. It's about like kind of
is that one that does like the I could be completely wrong here, but isn't that the one that like does like the Uber driving and then he's like, I'm gonna kill someone?
it's the guy from Stranger Things, Joe
Christ.
Keighley or something. He's really good in it. I was like, whoa. But it's all like filmed on like cameras in his car and stuff, and he goes on this killing spree because he wants to be internet famous, and he just like he's obviously kind of deranged in the head, but he wants to, kind of get so many views. He wants to be like his cousin who gets so many views and things. And it's just like a big, reflection of social media.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that? So, out of curiosity, how did that make you like feel about social media and stuff? Did you kind of agree with it that people will do anything to get fame or views, or did you like, especially knowing me, someone who tried to get big off shit like that?
Funny enough, that's who you reminded me of.
Yeah, that's who you reminded me of, James. But like, out of curiosity, did you kind of feel like that's kind of how some people genuinely think about it and like believe it and stuff?
It felt a bit like kind of Black Mirror style, like this is where we're heading in the future, and it feels like people will do anything. I mean, look, in Japan or something, they've got whole degrees for like social influencer courses. Jesus. And like they're all there with their like ring lights and cameras.
This is how you pose.
And this is how you sell things. People tell you to sell. But it's
fuck.
But it's just like kind of a dark reflection on society, I suppose. Like it seems familiar, but it also it's very sick and twisted at the same time.
It is. I think that's why I don't miss social media, man. Like I came off it nearly a year ago now. Like Facebook, Twitter, and that kind of stuff. I know someone will call me out and be like, "But you're doing YouTube. You're doing it right now. Fuck off." It's different compared to all that kind of stuff. Like every 2 seconds, I remember I used to look at my phone and fucking like some stupid fucking meme or whatever. Whereas now, with all that free time, man, it's just so good. So many cups of tea.
There's the practical element of social media, which is keeping in contact with people and networking, that kind of thing. But then there's that other side,
the toxic
that's
one.
the one that you don't look at.
Yeah, well, that's why I've never used Twitter, and for good reason. I have Twitter accounts. I've just never used them because fuck me, it's toxic. Yeah,
and TikTok, you won't mention that.
Oh God, I've not even gone on that fucking app. I'm just like, I don't understand it, man.
Oh my God, it's so dark.
Oh, it gets dark so quickly still, man. We're nearly like towards the third part of like January. It's okay though. You still look good. Starting to look like you're starting to look like you're the character from Spree. It's great.
Find a weapon I can use in it.
I'm only gonna bash your brains in.
But yeah, anything else you've been watching and stuff? Oh well, anything you've been watching, I should say.
Well, the first one was a Korean show that's on Netflix called Sweet Home. It's based on like a webtoon series. Super good. Incredibly fun and enjoyable. I would say watch it in. I watched most of it in dub. I started watching it in sub, but me and Vic watched it together, so we watched it in dub. I would say watch it in sub. You get better acting, better like emotional stuff, and it just works nicer. It's kind of like anime. If you watch it in sub, you're going to get a better generalization of what they're saying. If you watch it in dub, it's changed to fit kind of Western culture and whatever. Watched Jumanji 2, finally, the next level. Good film.
Okay.
Good film, enjoyable, fun, action-packed. Kind of, it was interesting to see The Rock acting as Danny DeVito. That was an interesting choice they made. I think he did it justice. You know, I think it was something different.
Yeah.
The History of Swears. Now, this is a series that came out on Netflix, with Nicolas Cage being like the host and everything. Hey, sweetie. I see you in the background there. Yeah, The History of Swears. That was a fun series. Highly recommend it. It's genuinely a documentary series about like swear words and where they came from and how they came to be swear words. But it's hosted by hello. It's hosted by Nicolas Cage, and it's just fantastic. Silly but educational. It's silly but educational. We also watched Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, and I think it's a criminal offence that Johnny Depp will not be coming back for the third one, so I highly doubt I will watch it. I actually, surprisingly, for someone that didn't think they were going to like the films, I fucking loved them. They were great.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of them yet.
Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, fucking fantastic. And the fact that this bitch Amber Heard is apparently, and yes, I called her that, has got away with not only lying about a lot, which was proven, by the way. This was proven in court that she lied about most of this, and yet is now an ambassador for domestic abuse. Nuts. Incredibly nuts to me. That's a conversation for another day. I won't drag that out. But yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Piranha 3D, garbage film, but there we are.
But we're watching the second one.
No, we're not.
Piranha 3 Double D, yes, watch it.
No. Skyscraper, silence you! Skyscraper, the face.
Hello.
Taxi chin.
Are you cutting?
No, I'm genuinely, my hand is like just under your face.
Well, Vic could probably come in on our last topic.
But yes, on to our last random things for the week.
Yes. So we thought it'd be pretty cool to talk about expectations on young people specifically these days, and traditionally, what are we expected to do at certain ages and certain milestones in our lives, like get married, meet someone, meet the love of your life, get a job.
Yeah.
Like, are you looked down upon for not meeting the criteria and expectations of life?
Yeah.
Or, is it different for everyone, and everyone should just be like, live and let live?
Live and let live, man. Live and let live. Yeah, what's your kind of thoughts on it, since you actually came up with this one?
Yes, I'm very proud of myself.
Fucking genius.
I think, obviously, there is a lot of expectations on people these days, but I think I haven't lived up to the expectations of what a normal person would do by this stage of my life. So I'm coming at it from a perspective of having not achieved these goals. But I'm pretty much okay. Like, I know people who do like different kind of careers and things, and they've been single all their lives and stuff. And it just like, it's a live and let live thing. I think like it doesn't matter what you are doing. It's just, as long as you are a decent human being and you treat everyone with respect. Yeah. I see a problem with not having hit milestones, and sometimes it's just naturally things don't fall into place as you would like them to, or just it's not the right time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll add more later, but you have your.
I definitely think that expectations, especially for young people, kind of like the kind of what is considered societally norm. I think this is I only stopped thinking about that kind of stuff when I was like end of 2019. I stopped giving a shit about kind of normal whatever and kind of just started living my life for myself. Like, I'm probably never going to, well, actually, no, I'm never going to have kids. And a lot of people have like said, but you're the last like person in your bloodline that has that name, that name will die out. Okay. I didn't fucking ask for that responsibility. Sean. Sean has disappeared.
Hello?
There he is. He's back. Oh God, what is happening to the signal? What happened? Oh, wait a second.
I arrived and started using it.
God, woman. Fucking everything up. We just got you.
That's what I do.
Nope.
Oh God, it's. Wait. Hopefully, turning off my PlayStation will help. There we are. Okay. Hopefully that'll. I don't know. Hopefully that'll hold out for long enough. But yeah, no, I probably not gonna have any kids. I don't plan on getting married. Sorry. Right, here's my thing, right? This is my thing on marriage. I understand from my limited knowledge of it that there are certain things that you have, like marriage is kind of important for. Like, for instance, if you live in the same house, you can have like rules on how how you live together and things that come into governments kind of thing of like, oh, well, you're married, so you get X amount, this amount of help, whatever. Like, I get that. Why do I need a fucking certificate to certify that I'm in a relationship? Why?
Marriage is essentially just like the binding of assets, basically, and on paper to like just like officially make it so that you are one. You know.
No. Like it's I don't know. Actually, yeah, get your ass over here. You can join us for this interesting question, and we'll get your side of it as well.
What, marriage?
Yeah, kind of, not just marriage, but kind of the society. Hold on.
So societal norms.
Yes.
I've got a limp microphone. So yeah, what's kind of like your opinions and stuff on societal norms? So stuff that like people go, hey, will you do this because it's life, and people do this.
Oh, have you not moved into your own place yet?
Yeah,
oh,
have you not got your own place yet? You're still living with your parents at X age, or you're not married. How long have you been together? That kind of shit.
I'm a bit biased because I've been binge watching Mike and Molly for the last couple of days. Yeah, you'll watch it one day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to train you down, but you'll watch it. Yeah, so basically, it's a load of shit.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think.
Like, why do I have to do what everyone else is doing just because... And they're literally just doing it because that's the way of things.
Yeah.
It's like a generational thing, I think, as well.
Yeah. Isn't it ironic how they say, hey, be yourself and be individual, but follow each and every single normality that everyone else does?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that ironic?
Like, do good in school, go to college or uni, get a job.
Oh, that kind of shit.
Get married, have a family.
That kind of shit used to piss me off, because I used to get told a lot was like, oh, if you don't do well in school, you're not going to have a job. Motherfucker, I have had more jobs than most people that have probably got A-levels in school. No offence to people who have A-levels. If school's your thing, it's your thing. It never was my thing. I was more practical. I preferred having a job. So from the age of like 14 up until I was like, I don't know, 22, I had a job. That was normal for me. I don't even know what
my results are.
I feel like this like pandemic thing is like it's shown the educational system is very flawed because it like focuses so much on exams, and a lot of kids aren't great at exams. Like they perform more practical, like you are, and whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really agree with exams, to be honest.
I mean, exams don't mean, like, at least, right, this is just from my experiences. Of course, I can't speak on behalf of others. But and I've had plenty of job interviews, never failed one. And not one single fucking time have I been asked for my GCSEs. Not once. Like, they never asked me. They were never like, hey, did you get an A in this in school? And I was like, no, because they just don't care. The only thing I ever got asked that kind of related to education, I guess, was, have you ever done this before? That was it. It was never like, were you good in school? Because if not, you've been a bad boy, bend over the desk, smack on the bottom. Like, it was nothing.
I was thinking about this the other day, because we got in work, me and the girls got onto a subject about, I won't disclose anything there, but my interview, oh, do you want to see my certificates and that from college and that? I've got them here. Oh, no, that's fine. I can see them written on your CV. I was like, well, you don't know if that's true, but okay.
It's funny that, isn't it?
Literally, I found out because of a delightful woman. She actually said, oh, yeah, you were hired because she likes your personality. That's it. I was like, oh, great.
Most places will hire you.
Yeah, with a customer-facing role and stuff, yeah, that is probably the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're good with customers, you're good at personality and interesting, and not kind of morbid.
It's more I think, especially in this day and age, maybe it was that way back in, like, you know, maybe 30, 40 years ago, it was all based on, like, hey, how well you did in school. Maybe that's why that kind of normality pushed through. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I know it was, like, BTECs and stuff back then. There wasn't, like, 20,000 different fucking versions of a GCSE. But I think, I don't know, for me, I've never experienced that. Especially, I think we've kind of scaled this thing to, like, jobs and shit. But I think that's the most prominent point. Like, when I got my hands tattooed, I was told I'd never get a job. And yet, I've had more jobs than people that I know who have no tattoos done really well in school and college and got plenty of fucking, like, educational stuff, like A-levels and... Like, my cousin's one of the smartest people that I know. Like, he's got A-levels up the arsehole. He's going to uni, but he works in Costa. And they... Not to say that that's such a downgrade. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But they didn't ask for any of his GCSEs or A-levels. They didn't care about any of that. All they cared about was, hey, you friendly? And his interview was 10 minutes long, and he got along with them, and it just worked.
Yeah, how well you get on with people, because no matter what you've done in the past, it'll be different there anyway. They'll train you up. They make you there on the spot, on the job kind of thing. That's what it was with me anyway.
I think what they should teach in school isn't so much about fucking can you speak another language or do this. What it should be is, hey, do you want to learn about taxes? No? Well, you have to, because you are definitely going to encounter them. Do you want to learn about how to manage money better? Because you are going to have to do that. Why the fuck do I need to learn about science and philology if I'm not going to fucking do it?
Cooking proper meals and how to look after yourself primarily, definitely.
Would you like to learn pie?
Like Gabriel Iglesias, have a shower.
Yeah.
Have a shower and use deodorant.
Yes.
And definitely...
puberty.
I think...
The main advice for puberty. Shower deodorant, you said.
I think the main thing, I don't want to blame technology for life's sins, but... because I love it, but definitely I think I found the younger generations now have trouble speaking to me, like, over the counter, for example. I've experienced.
Can I just
in the
text
shop.
you my order and you can just tell me now?
They're so nervous and wide-eyed and they're sweating as they're speaking to you, and I was like, it's okay.
We talked about this earlier. I think that's social media that's done that. I don't know if it's such a generational thing, but I think it's social media that's caused
anxiety.
So.
Yeah, it's like people think if they talk to you in person, you're gonna fucking bite them. Like, it's, you know.
And there's all these kind of new phenomenons these days, like, I have phone anxiety. I can't speak to people because I'm just, that's basically a trained thing. You've learnt how to text people. You realise that's easier. You don't have to have any face-to-face interaction with people. And it's going to get worse before it gets better.
People get, and I don't know if we'll leave it off on this or not. Maybe we will, but I think this is something for whoever listens or watches these podcasts. You know, this is something to deliberate over. Is, you know, think about how much you use social media and how much you talk to people like that, and then think about the last conversation you had in person. Which one was longer? Which one did you enjoy more, and why? Like, what I found is people who use social media, me being one of the most prominent ones that I used to talk to everyone on it, I would have a conversation on social media for hours with someone, but face to face, I talked for about 5 minutes and that was it. Now I can hold a conversation like me and you do, like this. I know we're using Skype now and everything, but it's face to face. It's not.
It's far better the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, and I can have a conversation with someone for hours and hours on end now. You try texting me, I might be able to talk for 3 or 4 sentences and that's it. But I'm so much happier for it. Like, social interaction is something we all need as humans. And how about we make that a societal norm, since that's human, you know? Can we just talk to each other?
Like robots is not the way forward.
No one wants to fucking talk to a robot. There is a reason when you pick up the phone and you ring someone and it's press 1 for this, you immediately go, oh, for fuck's sake. We don't like talking to robots. And we don't like fucking not having social interaction. So why are people making it harder on themselves?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That is the question I leave our audience with. Why do we make it harder for ourselves? But So again, apologies the fact that this one is slightly later than normal. Obviously,
slightly later, slightly shorter, but it is.
But slightly different. As far as I can tell, the next podcast will pretty much be the same. It'll be, back to normal. Things happen, so we have to kind of work around them. But once again, thank you very much, Sean, for joining me for this podcast. Thank you, Vic, for joining in the end and giving us your opinions on social normalities and bullshit.
Terrible.
But yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We hope you have enjoyed. It's been a good one, yeah. And
Catch you all next time.
see you all in the next
there.
one. Peace and love forever.
Peace, love, and harmony.